We're now reaching out directly to the customer and getting into the how-tos of the job, which brings us to developing and qualifying a prospect base. So what is a prospect base and what is prospecting? Well, have you ever watched a movie about those men and even some women who struck out for the gold fields of California and Alaska in the 1800s? They were called prospectors. They used the best knowledge they had to seek gold in the areas where they thought the gold would most likely be. Now, finding gold was a long shot even under the best of conditions. Very few actually got rich prospecting for gold, and those who made the big money sold the prospectors their equipment. Levi's jeans, for example, can be traced back to the California gold rush and meeting a need for a very strong and durable pair of pants. Pioneer Seattle's growth into the big league of West Coast cities in the late 1800s got a huge boost in supplying the prospectors headed for the Alaska gold fields. So you see, in many ways, the real success often comes down to selling. But getting back to prospecting. The prospector had to know the land and the conditions. Each potential customer is a nugget for our purposes, a prospect. While not all nuggets are gold and not all prospects will buy, the more prospects you do have, the better your chances. So let's look at the importance of developing a prospect base, identifying and assessing sources, qualifying prospects, and how to organize information about them, and finally how to manage the prospect base. Now, prospects can be lost over time for a number of reasons, and you have to keep replenishing the supply. Maybe the customer only needs one of whatever it is you're selling. And people do move away, and so do customers. A company may go out of business or merge with another. Your key contact may leave his or her position, and of course it is a competitive world out there, and some businesses may be lost to some others who just offer a better deal. A typical company could in fact lose up to 20% of its customer base every year. So the key element of successful prospecting is planning. Effective planning helps increase the number of prospects, the quality of those prospects, and which ones are the best able and most likely to actually buy from you. You've heard of the concept of networking. Now, this is where you build up a list of contacts in your profession or in closely related lines of work and social circles. Through networking, you hear of new jobs or maybe just what's happening in your own profession that will affect you. It's basically a system of linking people together who may be able to help each other at some time or another. Well, sales prospecting is a form of networking, except here you're looking directly for potential buyers or those who can lead you to other prospects. There are really quite a few sources for you to prospect and mine in making those new contacts. There is the referral, the satisfied customer who will pass your name along to another. Long-term success in real estate, for example, is based on referrals. You can always come out and ask others if they know any potential customers, or you can send out referral letters or cards, or you can network through referral organizations. We all have centers of influence in our lives, and they can be tapped. These tend to be our friends and family members. Most professions have directories with information about their operators in particular fields, and there are civic directories with a good deal of basic information about local statistics and trends. Some other directories provide basic public domain information about individuals. Take, for example, the old Polk City directory. They can provide names, addresses, employers, and occupations, and the like about the local citizenry. There are even services on the internet now that quickly access public records. Trade publications and trade shows can be good places to make professional buying contacts. Telemarketing and email can be effective. Most businesses have websites. Many individuals even have their own sites, even if it's just social networking. With advances in computer technology, we can keep extensive databases about current and potential clients and customers relatively quickly and easily. I've actually found that the most scary form of prospecting can actually be one of the most rewarding. It's the cold call. Yes, it's the, "Hi, I'm, and I represent," and then you take it from there. When I was working in real estate, for example, I was one who would actually knock on doors and introduce myself. And wouldn't you know it, my biggest sale ever came from knocking on a door. Now this shows a potential client that you're one who gets off your rear end and gets moving. When networking, don't forget these guidelines. Meet as many people as you can. When you meet someone, tell them what you do. Do not do business while networking. Offer your business card and edit your contacts and follow them up. In networking, people know people. And while that one person you meet directly may not be the one to buy from you, he or she may know someone you need to meet and who needs to meet you. Attending educational seminars is also a good way to meet others. Many organizations are also using their non-sales employees as part of the networking process. Maybe someone else in the firm works with that particular person you need to see, say in a supplier service capacity, and can put in a good word for you and get the door open. Of course, we can have a long list of prospects, but if they're no good, if they can't or won't do a deal, it's necessary to move on. And so what you have to do is qualify your prospects. Qualifying takes on a number of issues. Determining whether the prospect has a need for your product or service. Whether the prospect is one who actually can make the buy. Does the prospect have enough money or access to enough money to make the purchase? And is the prospect actually willing to buy your product? You can also carry the qualifying process a step further to determine how much a prospect could be expected to buy. And then it's also a good practice to learn a prospect's credit rating prior to determining if the sale can even be made. So how do you manage all of this information once you get it? Well, with the advent of the computer and online technology, we've seen a rapid growth in the amount of customer relationship management, or CRM, systems that are available. In typical CRM systems, you do have the ability to track the basics: names, titles, companies, phone numbers, and email addresses, and so on. But you also have the capability to add other information of special interest to a particular prospect or an existing client, such as what they tend to buy and how much of it they buy. Of course, you can also track just about anything else you want to put into the program. So you not only manage your customer accounts, but you can also collect and track sales intelligence about your clients, their business styles, interests, needs, conditions, and in the marketplace, what you can do to track the client's company. CRM is also valuable for managing your pipeline. You can keep track of upcoming conditions that will affect your clients, their businesses, and forecasts. Those clients who are no longer qualified can also be removed. The information accumulated here can be valuable in devising upcoming strategies for moving into the next phase of the sales process. Customer relation management is important to make the wisest use of information to handle a prospect base. But remember, sales is largely a people-to-people business. The word is, contact is key.